What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned into another episode of Everyday Heroes, and we got Real Name Wynton, JB Written, Jaz The Queen Lioness returning on the show, along with Rob. And before we get into anything, let's go ahead and shout out our Spotify, our iTunes, our YouTube, everything. Follow us on there, Everyday Heroes on there. We're on every single streaming platform, YouTube, all that. Come check us out. Check us out on Facebook. Give us a like, all right? Comment and subscribe. We've been getting some good traction lately, so some good conversations going. So let's keep the movement. Great Bay Media Entertainment. We all in the game. All right, the game is meant to be sold, not sold. Remember that. All right. So let's go ahead and get into some. Actually, before we actually get into some topics, let's go ahead and introduce Rob. So Rob, our special guest on the show, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
All right, and we just want to get to know you a little bit. So, like who are you, where you're from, any businesses or anything you got going on?
Well, I'm one of the many siblings of Joe
Okay,
Yes.
and Jazz and all of us. So, but no, I'm in Tallahassee. Um,
okay.
I'm
Where
one of
where
the
at?
owners. What you say?
Where at in Tallahassee?
It's only Tallahassee, Florida. It's only one Tallahassee, Florida. That's
But
it.
like, okay,
Tallahassee is a small. It's not. It's a small town. It's not that big. So
okay. I would know. My brother lived up there for quite some years in FAMU and FSU and all that stuff. Where I don't really know much about it, but all right. So
yeah,
you
It's a
Tallahassee.
circle. Tallahassee is one big circle.
Oh wow, I didn't
yeah.
know that.
You can literally ride around Tallahassee.
Wow. All right, cool. So you were saying that you have a restaurant?
Yeah, I have a restaurant, Breakfast Buffet on the south side of town, 310 Polk Drive.
Oh,
Um, been open for about 3 years. Do breakfast and lunch. I had to say one of the best eating places in town.
I
okay.
concur.
All right. And so breakfast and lunch, so you closing up shop around like 2:30, something like that?
Well, with the whole COVID stuff, we close early and we make adjustments. Just because, as everybody sees on the news, the restaurants are taking a big hit.
Mm.
Um, our volume dramatically dropped right after the NBA announced their cancellation of their season or their postponement of their season. Pretty much everything took a big hit. So we're making changes every day. So hours usually now range from around 8 o'clock to about 2.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. All right. So breakfast. So breakfast. So it's a breakfast and lunch. So like, what's like one of the best meals that you have right there right now? Like, what would you say is a fan favorite, customer favorite?
Oh man, fish and liver and onions, very
Fish,
popular.
liver, and onions.
Yeah, because
Now, uh-huh.
we do breakfast. We serve fish for breakfast and for lunch. So fish is probably the most popular. People love to come and grab that. And then on Tuesday and Wednesdays, people love the liver and onion for lunch.
Oh,
I've had liver and onions, and I mean, I'm down to try it. But if it's a fan favorite, I mean, I'm down to try it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the biggest liver fan, but I'm definitely down to try that.
No, look, I'm not a liver fan either, but they love it, man. They ask for it all the time. So, um, and our Sunday lunch is very popular as well. But that's when we have everything out: meatloaf, ribs,
Hmm.
fish, baked chicken, all that, casseroles, and all that. So,
so is it
I
like an all you eat joint?
Yeah.
well, yeah, it was all you can eat. Now we're down to self service and we do deliveries.
Oh, that's
And you can do curbside pickup as well. Um, we're just trying to fight the good fight to keep the doors open right now. Also, Monday through Friday for the kids, we do feed the kids since they've been displaced from school in our neighborhood. So they come by and we feed them as well.
that's dope.
So
That's dope. That's
I,
dope.
All right. So, any interesting stories you have from from the restaurant, and like, what made you get into the restaurant industry?
Man, I lost my mind. Now,
I heard it's a hard business though, man. I heard restaurant industry one of the hardest businesses. So how did you get into it?
man, it is probably the hardest thing I've probably done because it's nonstop.
Mm.
But I started by doing I started doing shows. Was bringing in like local artists and some regional artists, and I was needing a place to host my events. And so, long story short, is I was looking for an area on the south side of Tallahassee because south side is more of a nice way to say urban side, and they were looking for something to spend their time doing, positive entertainment and stuff like that. And somebody asked me to go look at the restaurant, and I started talking with the then owner of the restaurant. He was telling me about it, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna do shows, I might as well take over the operations of it. And that's how we got into it. Um, Not knowing that it was a lot of work into serving food, a lot of work.
Yeah, how is that going so far? Like doing shows and stuff. I know not right now, but before the quarantine and all that stuff.
Shows were pretty popular, but I had to focus on getting the kitchen straight. So
Yeah.
I took some time off just focusing on, getting the recipes right, making the food consistent. And actually, this year I was planning on starting back doing shows, and all this happened. So
Yeah.
um, now it's just a day by day thing, and we just try to,
So do you
maintain.
stage? You got like a stage, a microphone, and all that good stuff.
I mean, I have all that stuff from when I had the studio. So,
Yeah.
but the place was it's not that big, so it was it's more of an intimate setting, intimate atmosphere. So you got to interact one on one with a lot of the artists. Got to meet them and not only hear their music but actually get to talk and interact with them. So
That's dope.
That's what's up, man. So, like, I used to own a food truck, and I was, I had a good 2 year run before I had to sell it. But when I, opened my food truck and everything, I became a picky eater. Are you a picky eater now?
yeah, I barely eat. So
Okay, you barely eat.
Jasmine to tell you.
Why you barely eat? Is it the work, or you just barely eating because you a picky eater?
Rob has a full day along with him trying to run the restaurant full time. He's still working full time,
Oh wow.
but he eats throughout the day. He'll grab a quick bite of what sometimes at the restaurant, and then after work we might go stop and get something to eat or whatnot.
Yeah.
All right,
But
all
he's
right,
a busy man.
I'm a.
all right.
Oh, I keep
So,
telling
so
Rob, man, I'm gonna come down there and shut him down. I'm gonna eat everything. I'm gonna eat him out. I'm a
So,
picky eater.
are you using this time to like kind of sit back and kind of like reassess things about the restaurant or anything right now? Are you looking for any other business plans? Like, any future plans for the restaurant?
Well, right now, restaurants just like pretty much a lot of restaurants is just in survival mode. Uh, this is something that's just nationwide, but I can speak for Tallahassee. I mean, there's restaurants closing every day
Yeah.
because your volume. I mean, volume dropped. I can tell you, volume dropped about 60% in 2 weeks. And when you have employees and you have overhead and brick and mortar, I food truck is I don't know a lot about the overhead and food truck, but the
It's
brick
not
and
that
mortar
bad.
buildings, that stuff doesn't never stop coming, so you're gonna always have to pay those bills.
Okay, all
So
right.
I mean,
And
right now it's just survival, and then we'll see how long this is gonna last, because then we can truly evaluate what's gonna really happen in the near future.
all right. And I can just speak. Last comment from me. I could just speak from a food truck perspective. The overhead isn't really that high, and the overhead does eventually like slow down for you because you pay off the truck, or the truck that I got was a $8,000 old FedEx truck,
Mm.
84 diesel truck. So I mean, get it, pay it off, and from there, you don't really have any overhead for the physical truck. It's really just getting all the equipment in there and just maintaining it from there. So it does slow down
Yeah.
that end, but
But I think Robert got a whole building.
he has a whole building, so it's a lot more difficult on that end. So I could definitely understand, and I'm with you, and I'm praying that you guys and everybody gets through this. So with that being said, any last comments, Rob, or anything, or any last questions from anybody?
Well, shout out to Breakfast Buffet and
Yeah.
Grill.
Yeah. So let the people know how to get in reach with you, how to get there again.
Well, you can definitely find us. Google us, Breakfast Buffet, Tallahassee, Florida. Social media, Breakfast Buffet and Breakfast Grill. Um, Phone number 850-765-8304. And we're open pretty much 7 days a week. In fact, we just changed. In fact, it's pretty funny because today we had our health inspection and passed that with flying colors.
Nice,
Great,
That's
nice.
great,
awesome.
great, great.
But we just changed, and now we're no longer buffet. We have to serve every client that comes in, every customer that comes in per Department of Health. Um, and that that's a difference from buffet to self-service, as you know, doing food truck. It's a different way you prepare food. So I mean, it's ever changing. We're just hoping that we're able to make it through this time, and just once it gets back to whatever normal is, we'll be able to adapt and adjust.
You're right. What normal is? Sure,
Yeah.
we can't.
And thank you for taking care of the kids during this time too. That's a
Yeah.
really big deal, especially around that area.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, so that pretty much wraps that up. Thank you for explaining your business to us. So we're gonna go ahead and switch it up a little bit and get into some next topics.